Hello and welcome everybody into some Tuesday night racing action here with the HCK Beagles Racing League as we come at you live from the gambling town of Las Vegas. Quickly becoming one of our favorite tracks here on any of these league schedules. We're getting ready for 95 laps of rough and tumble fun. These drivers are looking like they got a good head of pace here this evening, and we're going to have a great show in store for you here tonight. So let's get things all started off and kicked off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a big time thank you to our race sponsors. Like tonight, Hansley Motorsport sponsoring tonight's race here at Las Vegas. Thank you, Hansley Motorsports, for being a part of the league. That's Andrew Hansley's team. Glad to have him racing around out here and being involved again this season. Of course, we also have to say a big thank you to Abruzzi Racewear. Some fantastic racewear for real life and sim life racing. Be sure to go check them out at Abruzzi.com. They've got a whole bunch of great stuff. They got suits, the whole like undergarment stuff. I mean, gloves, everything. I think even they're giving away a free set of gloves to somebody here at the end of this season. So be sure to go and check them out and get them some business as a big time thank you for sponsoring the HCK Beagles Racing League. Of course, we also have to say a big thank you to TrackDogsRacing.com and TrackDogs.net. Be sure to head on over there for your HCK Beagles merchandise and other supplies. I got hats, t-shirts, mugs, tumblers, anything that you can possibly throw a logo on. They've got it over there, so big time thank you again to TrackDogsRacing.com, your premier merchandising supplier of the HCK Beagles Racing League and AAA broadcasting. Also, a big thank you to Chiefland RC Raceway down there in Florida. If you like the need for speed but do it on the smaller scale, be sure to head on down there and get your fix with the little RC race cars there. So thank you, Chiefland RC Raceway. Also, big thank you to Sonic Graphic Designs. Be sure to head on over there for some paints and other graphic designing needs. They do fantastic work over there. Thank you, Sonic Graphic Design. And of course, AdminBoxx, the premier button box solution for race control admins, where at the push of a button, they can throw cautions, wave arounds, do whatever you need to do, and so much more. Man, AdminBoxx, they do it all. As always, I am Alan Brown, and thankfully I now have interwebs once again, and I am joined by two of my best friends here tonight, Mr. Alan English, whose camera is not on, but that's no big deal. He was a little late coming on in here, but that's okay, buddy. But we're live here once again, Alan, coming from Las Vegas, and we've seen some fantastic races coming here from this track.
Yes, sir. This is one of those tracks that never disappoints. It's, God forbid you use the term cookie cutter. Everybody loses their mind, but this is a badass mile and a half. And we've seen great racing here time after time, especially from leagues like this who race very clean. And they got a big field out there tonight, so can't wait to see what these guys do out here tonight at Vegas.
That indeed. And after a little bit of a tumble-ish ride down through Daytona last week, I wasn't able to watch, but Mr. Turner, I know you were, and you're all excited for the rivalries that are getting set up here for this season. And this is a really good race to kind of follow up Daytona. Not going super small, but not going super big. A ton of speed to be had here at Las Vegas.
This track is super racy. It's a fun track. What I'm a little concerned about, just watching races for, I don't know how many races we've been a part of, probably 1,000 at this point, but tonight there are 0 fast repairs, so they're really going to have some discipline tonight. People are going to get real upset if they get crashed out because they're not going to have any way out of it. 0 fast repairs, that's going to be something to watch, I think, maybe even, in my view, maybe the key of the race. But hey, we're back. All the internet got figured out. That spy balloon's been after us since it came around, so it probably got a hold of your interweb there, Brown, and it's probably because of the stuff I say, so I apologize to you.
That's all right, buddy.
Yeah, so anyway, 0 fast repairs tonight, 75% fuel, 4 sets of tires. It's 71 on the track. It's sticky. It's going to be fine as far as grip, but be careful.
At that indeed, as we take a look at tonight's race info here, and a beautiful night here in the Las Vegas desert, as it always is, leading to some fantastic conditions for these drivers. Really no excuses. Track is nice and cool. The lights are on, and we're ready to rumble here for 95 laps. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's key to the race. And we always mention it here every time that we come here, but man, sometimes a good strategy, it's a hard gamble, man. You really got to stick to your guns, and sometimes maybe even throw a little bluff out there to the other drivers.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to do the math and try to figure out, well, how far can I actually go? And then when cautions and stuff start getting mixed up in it, it kind of throws your math off, right? So you really got to kind of guesstimate how far you can actually go on a tank of fuel here. So we're going to see some of that. Some guys might be chasing some track position and taking some big risks, but we'll see as we get underway here before too long.
Yeah, and I like this open qualifying. That's something we don't always see. So they're out there all qualifying together, which
Yeah, that's definitely different.
makes some interesting stuff to watch. Sometimes you can learn a little bit when they do this. I don't know how much the drafting really helps in this track. What do you guys think about
It matters
draft?
here. The draft definitely matters here, but it's not, it's not the deciding factor as it would be at a, Daytona or Talladega or something like that. It's not completely draft dependent. Your line choice and everything here has a lot more to do with it. So we'll see what these guys do as they try to navigate their way around this track.
That indeed, as we currently take a look at our leaderboard, top spot being held by the 81 of Brian Torchia. He's got it's like a 1/100th or 1,000th or something of a lead there on Kevin Winker, but Kevin Winker is currently out there on track in that 42 racing machine, and he's also live here with us with some driver camera, in-car camera as well. So we thank you, Kevin, for jumping on board there with that. We got a couple of other guys out there as well, one of those being Andrew Hansley, and got David Wright out there as well, as I'm kind of searching for his name. He's currently not driving out on the track, but that is okay. We also got the Beverly guys out here, Mark Beverly in the 13 machine. Oh, looked like he was coming on down for a pits, but got a little sideways there. The 26, Jay Burton driving the Coca-Cola machine right now, trying to get a better starting position here. It's currently in 22nd. That is not where you want to be. Well, maybe it is where you want to be. Maybe starting kind of towards the tail end of this field. The number 1, Nate Cogdell, racing around here with us. That's a new name for us here this season. Trying to get some good starting positions here tonight. You also got Nick Gardner in the 16 machine, trying to gather his way, starting in the top 5 right now. But oh, look at who's just stolen that top spot. 15 of Cody Staten, one of those Staten brothers, as he slips and slides his way down onto pit road here as well.
Yeah, there's some different names in here tonight that we hadn't seen last season. So bear with us if we're pronouncing it wrong. I know.
If we say it wrong, let us know, man. Definitely send us a message or something. Say, hey, man, here's how you say my name for real. Yeah.
I mean, I see one right
do
there.
our best to accommodate.
Like he was, maybe in the Untouchables or the John
What?
Sciolino. John Sciolino. Is that how you say that, Brown? That's Italian, I think. Looks like from the movie,
The good thing about Italian is it's said exactly how it's pronounced, so or how it's spelled. So you can't really mess it up.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure we can.
I was gonna say I couldn't tell you, but he's racing a fantastic looking paint scheme out there for that 33 machine. So these guys continue to go during qualifying here. About 3 minutes left, so it's starting to kind of get on down to it. Cody Staten still holding that top spot. 44, David Wright, able to jump up that leaderboard a little bit. He's got a pretty good top 5 starting spot as of right now, but I got a feeling that that's just going to get quicker and quicker, so he's going to need to get all up in there. Why is my button not working? Gosh darn it. Well, there we go. Finally got it up there. But he's, like I said, he's racing out there with the driver cam all set up as well. You can see him with his multiple monitors getting it done here this evening. Looks like he's trying to go around the outside of some drivers right now.
Spy balloon. We've been dealing with that for so long. Really getting a hold of all our stuff. It's infected us.
As we jump into the cockpit a little bit here with Jonathan Herbert in the 87. He's got a whole bunch of people out here right in front of him, so he's using that draft to his advantage, trying to launch himself up that leaderboard, which he does, as both himself and the 88 of Zach Staten take over 1 and 2 on that leaderboard. Definitely making use of that draft, especially here once when we see that start of the race. I think that's where we're really going to see that draft come into play, and you're really going to want to stay up inside the main group here tonight as long as you can. It's going to be some side-to-side door banging action. Ooh, someone slowed down there on that apron as Jonathan making his way on around. He's currently side-by-side with the 17 machine as they try to make some stuff up here. That's 17 of Frank Ranger.
So watching the qualifying session here, this is what you're going to see, guys. If we get a lot of green flag laps in and have some separation due to pit stops, this is what your race is going to look like. It's going to be a lot of single file. Some guys going side by side, but not a whole lot of it. And that might be exciting too. We might see some great pit strategy calls coming into play later in the race, but that's only if we get a whole ton of green flag laps in, which I'm not sure we're going to see here.
Are we going to see somebody fight? That's all I care about. Is somebody going to throw hands?
I hope so. I hope so.
I know it got heated the last race. It seemed like a short race. We had the internet problems, but
yeah, we watched it live.
We watched it.
I think you did.
pretty short race, wasn't it? So you didn't have much time.
It went by quick.
that
Yeah, it went by pretty quick, and
this one seems like it probably will stretch out a little longer and could be dangerous. So.
I wish we could have brought that to everybody because that was an awesome race. But look,
well, have you heard of this thing called Chat GPT and the spy balloon? It's all infecting our stuff.
I thought it was Chat CDB.
No, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, issues abound for AAA broadcasting sometimes, but that's okay. We're gonna keep pushing on.
Indeed, as qualifying finishing up now, people just finishing up their final little run that they were on as we get all set up and ready to head on down there to the starting grid. As that indeed is exactly what is going to happen here. Head on down there and get things all kicked on off with tonight's official starting grid, starting up front and getting the big win last week. So we'll actually be able to get to talk to him here. 88 of Zach Staten wins the AdminBoxx Poll Award winner here, being up there at the very front. 87 Jonathan Herbert's going to start to his outside there in second. 13 Mark Beverly looking to make a good start here this evening, starting up there in third. The 15 of Cody Staten starting tonight in fourth. You got the 16 of Nick Gardner having a pretty good starting spot up there in the top 5. Right to his outside is going to be the 81 Brian Torcha. He's going to start there in that 6th. 44 David Wright starting here tonight in 7th with the 42 of Kevin Winker and captain of Team America starting in 8th. You got the 4 of Eric Stoy starting here tonight in 9th with the 7 of Brett Sommers starting here in 10th.
Let's see here. John Sciolino, thank you so much, our race admin, Michael Newt, for helping us out with the pronunciation. Appreciate it, buddy. That's the 33 truck starting in 11th place. 12th is going to be the 1 of Nathan. Is it Cogdell?
Cogdell.
Cogdell, okay. And the
that's my interpretation.
64 of Cale Turbeville starting in 13th place. 14th will be Neil Lapidus.
Lapidus.
I say Lapidus, kind of like they're Greek gods out here.
There's too many vowels in there. That's the 41 truck.
We're starting off good so far.
The 14 of Randy of the same last name starting in 15th place. 16th will be the 34 of Jesse Calloway. The 3 of Thomas Fain will start in 17th place. 18th will be Josh Freed in 39. 19th, Andrew Hansley the 4th in 24 machine as always. And the 5 of Stephen Naylor starting in 20th place.
All right, 21st, you get the 45 Tyler Beverly. Number 20 of Jesse Fox, 22nd. Number 22, Haas Beverly, he'll be 23rd. Frank Ranger Jr., I love that name. Number 17, he'll start 24th. J.A. Burton. In the 26 truck, 25th, Jake Bunjo, one of the coolest names in iRacing right there. 26th, Tom Bearsh, double nickel. 27th. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. I saw Lewis Edinger. I think he was exited from the race. Brad Hunt looks like 28th. Matthew Jones is the chef here tonight. Looks like it's 6 days, at least lining up to be 29th. And then we got Michael Newton there as race control.
Lapidus. You're right.
Indeed.
Right there, Brown.
As we go around one more time here, and we get to pull on up our AdminBoxx Poll Award winner, and that is going to be the 88 of Mr. Zach Staten, picking up the pole here tonight and getting a great starting spot, especially coming up after a fantastic win over there at Daytona. I'm sure you guys at Team America got a pretty good strategy going on here, but how much of it is going to be a little bit of a gamble there, Zach?
Yeah, it won't be as much of a gamble as it was last week at Daytona. This will be a little bit more of a straight-up race, although we still have some of the drafting going on here. But yeah, I just want to Want to shout out to Team America and Bruce Muehlberger at Muehlberg Custom Homes, especially for that win last week. We've been running great since they came on. So looking forward to tonight. We're going to get after it.
Well, thanks for being here tonight. Thanks to Bruce Muehlberger and that awesome sponsor. And good luck out there tonight. And, man, these mile and a halves, they're nothing to sneeze at. So good luck out there tonight. Hopefully y'all's strategy works out for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Get them on back up there as we get ready to go to the green flag for the first time here tonight. And
looks like they added another caution lap here.
I think they saw that we were still talking to the 88 as we were getting all up and ready there.
Well, they don't have to do anything special.
I was long-winded there.
Yeah, you kept talking. Everybody knows you're just ruining this race already.
I was trying to shorten it up too, man.
Your pronouncing of the names. This is you started late. You got here late. Man, I got problems with you tonight, boy. We're gonna have you and me may go out in the holler, have a wrestling match. I'm assuming that you made a lot of beer today, so you're probably tired. Your brain's not into it yet.
A lot. We're gonna make more tomorrow too.
Oh man, we need people like you. I can't fight you. You make beer.
I'm doing my best to make the people happy.
So we go ahead and take a look at the chat over there on YouTube. Currently got 32 viewers right now. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. You got the Mako out there. He's here waiting on Jesse. He's ready to get up there and go. Greg Dobson saying, go Limitless, boys. I don't know if there's any Limitless drivers out here this evening, but he's out there in chat. Andrew Hansley saying, let's go 24 and 66 of Hansley Motorsports. Jesse Fox saying, Mako. Brad Hunt's out there, Elijah Miller, BB, Michael Newton, as always, Tower Operator, giving us the good evening. Glad to have you back around there. Kevin Reese, he's in there cheering for John. Let's see, Casey Jones, he's cheering for Matthew. The chef is in the building, and Shauna Flick, of course, is cheering on Winker Nation as we get up and ready for the first time here tonight. Green flag racing down and across the line. A great start there for the 88. He's going to actually bump up to that outside lane, and that's going to give the 13 of Mark Beverly the inside line and inside track. Jumping on up there into first. Following him is going to be the 16 of Nick Gardner as they make their way down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4, making a little bit of a dive down low. It's the 44 David Wright trying to pick up a few extra spots there, sneaking up the inside of that 88 estate, and a little slicing and dicing happening on behind those guys right in front of that 7 of Brett Sommers. You can see him side by side right now with the 81 of Brian Torcha. Kevin Winker's there, as well as the 64 of Cale Turbeville.
Yeah, the 3 machine, Thomas Fain, had his hands full there as they completed that first lap.
He did. He held it together in that Abruzzi paint scheme.
Yeah, that was
one of our sponsors. Yeah, he made it work, though. Here we go.
And this is one of those tracks where you can use that bottom apron. Just saw a couple of guys making use of it there as it was going kind of 3, almost 4 wide for a split second. Looks like a little bit of a kind of little gap forming up here. You got Jesse Calloway, trying to get up there in the 34 machine, trying to bridge that gap and catch on up to the main group of guys where that 88 is staying, still battling side by side with that 44 of David Wright. Brett Sommers running the fastest lap of the race. Well, now it's the 64 Cale Turbeville. Don't ever sleep on that 64 Klondike machine. Missing that super chromed out Klondike, but you know what? Always good to have him driving around there with some ice cream on the car. You got the 22 Haas Beverly with the 45 Tyler Beverly running nose to tail here in the secondary pack, trying to sneak around that one of Nate Cogdell. Oh man, some great racing being had out here this evening, and we have just gotten started.
Good to have some help out there, and especially if your help has the same last name as you do, you could probably count on them a little bit better than you can somebody else. But yeah, man, these guys getting pretty up close and comfortable with each other right now. We talked about it. These guys are a clean racing league. They do have some rookies here this year, but I think the guys that are veterans in this league are pretty happy with the rookie class that they have here, as they're they've raced together pretty well here so far, pretty safe.
And that indeed. So we got side-by-side racing action going on here. Almost some door-to-door bumping, as well as the 4 and the 64 almost get into some contact. The 42 and the 7 as well right there behind them, as the 16 of Nick Gardner controls this race up there, up at the front. So that might have been his strategy here to get things all started off, is getting out to the front early and trying to hold that spot. Back here we also got some side-by-side action. Looks like, ooh, the 41 Neil Lapidus trying to make some ground up, but snuck up into that outside wall just a little bit. A little scrapage going on. Also got the 39 Josh Freed. Was a fantastic contender late last season, trying to make up some ground here tonight as well, just outside of that top 15 right now, behind the Beverly duo right there in front of him. 24 Andrew Hansley slowly making his way kind of up through this field, still right about where he started there in 19th, but still plenty of time to be made up. Same thing with the 55 double nickel Tom Barish, making up 6 spots already, up to 21st. So the Barish on the move.
This is kind of what we thought might happen here. Guys are spreading out now. So you got a lot of single car action going on. Not a whole lot of 2 wide action going, except for right here for, 10th or 12th place here. But most of the field's starting to spread out. What you got, Adam?
It is not just 1 through 10 is really competitive right now. I think we're seeing another pack right behind them here with some more competitive racing. So it's spread out a little bit, but they are still getting after it. That's for sure. And I think really we need to pay attention to is the tire wear here. Some of these guys are probably wearing their tires out right now, and some of these guys are probably saving those tires. So we will definitely tell in the next 10 laps or so who saved tires.
Talking about saving those tires, the 5, Steven Naylor, getting a little tight heading on down there into 1 and 2, ends up almost snagging that outside wall. He's going to get a few people running by him there, like the 17 of Frank Ranger, moving on up and through, as well as the best name in iRacing, Jake Bunjo, in that 86 machine, making his comeback here this season, trying to make up a little ground here tonight. Kevin Winker still battling it out right now with 88 Zach Staten, and I'm not sure that's how teammates are supposed to work. I don't think you're supposed to battle them side by side. Right in front of them is the 44 44 and the 13 battling side by side here for second place as well, while the 16 maintains that lead up there at the front. But just to kind of mention a little bit on that tire wear situation, they've only got 3 sets after this one, so this one's getting kind of close here.
So how do you wear your tires out? Because I'm one of those guys that likes to drive it in hard and then slide up the track, so my right front burns out. Some guys like to do late entry and then try to exit out of the turns the best they can, and they end up burning up their right rear. So which kind of racers are you guys? I mean, what kind of line do you take here?
Well, I'm terrible for one, but right front was always the problem I would have.
You're a pusher like me.
Yeah, I just throw it in there and then hope for the best coming out. But you have to pay attention, right? Like, you have to know those tires because they change almost every lap. So it's something you're definitely got to keep your mind on. Brown, I don't know. You're so good. What did you burn up?
Well, my steering wheel. That's what I burned up.
It's true.
Yeah, you did. You smoked a steering wheel, didn't you?
That I did, but no. This track is really interesting. With a fixed setup, it makes it even more interesting. Here is the 44 making a kind of a charge here up on that second lane on the 16. Looks like it's stalling out for right now. But when I was racing in the open trucks here, man, you could really get a good setup where you get some really good runoff. And you stay right there, right about in the middle of the track where that 44 is running as he takes the 16 up towards the outside wall, trying to feign him into a little bit of a mistake there, but the 16 not wavering, able to hold on to that position. But I kind of like the middle line here. It gives you the little bit of best of both worlds, where you're not exactly using up all your rubber, but you're not exactly saving it either. And it's giving you some of that good little extra speed coming off the corner.
Well, Nick Gardner in the 16 machine really doing a great job up here up front. He qualified well in 5th position, so he already had the spot to be in to take control of this race once it started to kind of fan out a little bit and start to separate. So great job on the 16 and controlling the front line here.
Yeah, so far I think we're seeing an awesome race. I want to let everybody know before anything bad happens here in this race to go ahead and hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Bill Gates hates cows and hates AAA broadcasting, but you guys don't.
Hates cows?
Yeah, he does.
What?
Hit the like, subscribe, the twinkle bell, or whatever you hit all those buttons, and then we get more viewers, and it becomes more fun, and everybody gets to interact. Yeah, isn't that what we're doing here? We're trying to get viewers and
it's a carol
likes.
Bell. Wow,
It's a twinkle bell.
Twinkle bell. Okay.
Hit the bell, hit everything.
Mash all the buttons.
Yeah, mash the buttons, and not the thumbs down.
No, not that one.
And speaking of mashing all the buttons, man, we got a whole bunch of people typing out there in chat, Mr. English.
Yeah, we got Adam Strom out there joining us, our buddy from up in Minnesota, saying, "Howdy, fellas, it's been too long. Therefore, Turner, I'm just getting down to pit road with a couple of cold cases to enjoy."
Yeah.
He's probably bringing you Keystone or Natty
No, that's
Light.
fine. That's fine. I don't care. I hadn't
that's
seen him in a
okay.
while.
Oh,
Bring it on
okay.
down. I'll take
Kevin
that.
Reese is saying hi, Sherry. Sherry Janner joining us saying, "Let's go, Herbert." Let's see. Who else we got? I don't have my damn glasses on. Miss Spasmodic saying, "Absolutely, Kev." Kev Reese says, "Everybody for Herbert out here tonight." Man, Herbert's got a fan club out here tonight. That's awesome.
That he does. We always love it when the fans come out for their favorite drivers here, as we're probably about 10 or 15 laps away. This race is really ticking those laps off. These guys running really well here tonight with that 16 still up at the front, followed by the 88 and the 42 slowly making their way back up here to that front. They're trying to get that Team America up there on the board really good here tonight. For Eric Stoy still hanging around up there as well as the 64 Cale Turboville hiding up there in that top 10. 13 Mark Beverly, 15 Cody Staten, 7 of Brett Sommers, with the 81 Brian Torchia all making out for this top 10. Just outside of it is that John Cholino. He's trying to find some space, but it's kind of tough when you got people racing side by side right in front of you. You can take it 3 wide here, but this being so early in the race, I don't think he is going to elect to do so. Kind of here in the back, you still got Tyler Beverly in that 45 going side by side with the 34 of Jesse Calloway. Just inside of this top 15, you got Thomas Fain out here kind of stuck in between the 1 of Nate Cogdell and the 55 of Tom Barris. Jake Buncho not too far behind and kind of trailing up this field a little bit. You got the 66 of Chef Boyardee, Matthew Jones, 41, Neil Lapidus, Jesse Fox, Andrew Hansley, and then Brad Hunt in the 169 machine, pulling up the full rear end of the field that is running here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, the Mako, for joining us. Clay Quackenbush for joining us as well. Ian Miller pulling for Jesse out there. Tammy Squires pulling for Fox, number 20 out there. Stealth Motorsports got some cheerleaders out there, including Matt Buncho. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
I thought it was Mako. Mako, not.
Oh, is it Mako? I'm sorry.
Mako Shark. That's how it's spelled. Of course, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know anything about sharks.
I like Clay Quackenbush. That's a cool name. I think there was a guy named like that name in baseball one time, Quackenbush. Did he play for the Royals? I don't know.
What is it? Is your second favorite baseball player? Is that who it is?
Well, I mean, that's a good baseball name. I like the name. I don't know. I got to think on that. I think are those burritos he put on there? Because it looks like it, but I don't know. You know the emoji thing.
I'm
I
making me
can't.
hungry now.
I can't see what half these emojis are.
We can't see anyway.
I know.
I had a
thought they were
good
egg roll.
had a good breakfast burrito here this morning.
Yeah. What was it?
Oh yeah, it was just got some egg, got some sausage up in there. It was good, and it wasn't small either. Not one of those quick drive-through things. It was as gourmet burrito as you can get. As the 39 of Freed tries to get up underneath the 45 of Tyler Beverly here, making a move. Pretty much everyone is kind of single filed out. A few passes being made here and there. As we I think we're starting to look at maybe people coming on down pit road here in the next 5 laps.
It's time. We're already at lap 26 here. It's time to start coming down, getting some fresh shoes on them things. Derek Waltz joining us. He's playing race control in another league right now, but thanks so much for taking the time out to watch us and comment. Thanks so much, Derek. Yeah, we're sorry, the Mako. We screwed that up, buddy.
Well, is it Mako or Mako? We'll have a debate. I think it's Mako, like the Mako shark. That's how it's spelled.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said Mako.
Did I say it wrong twice? Elijah
No.
Miller also joining us in the iconic blue number 20 Fox truck out there.
I think right now is where we're starting to see those shoes really kind of set in, and
Sure.
people are kind of sliding around a little bit. This is fun. Somebody's going to door someone, and somebody's going to get angry. And we might.
Ryan Peterson joining us as well, saying, drive the wheels off it, Johnny. Remember, if you're not first, you're last. I saw that on a movie once.
That was a pretty good line.
The problem here though is after first there's 28 other positions before you are last, so that is not necessarily true.
It's not necessarily true. Thank you.
But Jonathan Herbert in that 87 machine running pretty good right now, still up there kind of in that top 11, almost up there to the top 10. It's about a second and a half up there to Brian Torcha in that top 10, so he's probably hoping for some stuff there in the Freedom Lawn Care machine with the kind of like the old school Wrangler paint job. Remember when those
Yeah, it's like a throwback.
yeah, those old race cars came onto iRacing. It was, you had that blue and yellow Wrangler paint scheme as your default or whatever. Kind of got a little take on that, looking pretty good there.
That's Dale Jr.'s or Dale Sr.'s old paint scheme. You remember that?
Oh yeah, of course I do. Lino's in and out of the pits. So 33s. I think we're starting to see the pits right now, Brown.
I had that indeed. You got the 41 down there on pit road right now. Same thing with the 20 and the 14. So pit road now getting busy, where these virtual pit crews make use of their virtual pit currency, and these guys are trying to get a good pit stop underway here. We're gonna excuse me as I have a little mini stroke. Ooh, we got a yellow flag.
Oh, yellow's out.
Uh-oh, what happened there? Ooh, I hear anger.
Tyler Beverly's.
No. Oh no, and the looks like the 41 Neil Lapidus spraying for mosquitoes down there, and with no fast repairs, that is going to absolutely hurt him here tonight. Let's go ahead and kind of take a look back at what happened.
Old tires come out of the pits. It happens, you know.
Oh, that's what happened. No grip coming out. I think you're right.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Well, it doesn't help. So you don't really see it on screen that well. Oh man, and he was up on the track and getting clipped there. I think that's where the anger is coming from, as drivers trying to avoid and just 45. Well, at least on our screen. That looked more netcode than anything. I thought he was just going to make it, but man, the 41 machine going for a rough and tumble spin. But before I talked about that, I was mentioning you really don't see it, but there is a little bit of a transition there that's kind of hidden in the track, and I think he was just up a little too much, getting that truck a little sideways, as the rest of the field now coming on down and in, hitting their pit boxes.
Yeah, it happens. That transition will get you. Thank you so much, Kevin Reese, for joining us as well. Talking about that old school Dale Senior paint. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Casey Jones says, and I think I'm saying this right, burrito, burrito, beer, beer, burrito, burrito, beer, beer. It's almost like Morse code, but it's with emojis. I
Seems
don't
like
know if I've got
solid idea. I don't know. But everybody that's ever iRaced has done that coming out of the pits. It's just, it happens. And, especially when you're trying to race back out and those tires, you don't realize how,
Oh, yeah.
how slick they are. And it happened. I think somebody got a little angry, but I think they'll calm down. That wasn't really cause for a real
yeah, you're
fight.
right.
I want to see something where somebody does some intentional stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, come on.
But no, that was just a little incident with Lapidus. Hopefully he can get back out there. Did some damage.
Had that indeed, as we get all up and ready and kind of pacing behind that pace truck here once again. The people that were kind of stuck a lap down, they're getting a little bit of a freebie now. Right in front of these leaders. They're going to be getting the wave around here in just a second as we get all lined back up here to head on back to Green Flag Racing. 16, Nick Garner won the race off of pit road, so he's going to hold on to that number 1 spot. 42, Kevin Winker is going to start there right beside him. 44, David Wright. 88, Zach Staten. 13, Mark Beverly. 64, Cale Turbeville. 15 of Cody Staten. 81, Brian Torcha. 39 of Josh Freed, and the 22 of Haas Beverly, all starting up there inside that top 10. As we make our way around here, let's go ahead and talk to one of these drivers. And how about we talk to let me see if I can't find his name. We got so many channels here, man. Let's go ahead and talk to the 24 Mr. Sponsor himself, Mr. Andrew Hansley.
Alrighty. Hansley Motorsports.
Coming out there from Hansley Motorsports, the 24, Mr. Andrew Hansley, looking just outside of that top 15 right now, Andrew, and had a pretty good green flag run going there, and it looked like it was going to continue before that caution came on out.
What was that?
You guys were having a pretty good green flag run going there, and looked like everything was spreading out nice. How are you feeling out there in that truck?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. That actually was a pretty timely caution. I was gonna about ready to a couple laps go into the pits, and then luckily that caution came out and trapped some guys a lap down, gained me a few spots.
I think a lot of the guys had your same mindset. They were like, man, I'm ready for tires anyway. I'm going to come in. But, hey, man, thank you so much for being such a great supporter of us. And we love cheering for you out there. Your grandma showing up every week cheering for you. Thank you so much for being a part of this league, Andrew. We sure appreciate you. And good luck out there tonight.
Well, thank you. And we're glad to have you guys on board broadcasting also.
Awesome. Thanks and good luck to you.
Get them back down there as we're starting to head back on up there to get ready to go green flag racing here once again as the field getting all stacked back up and ready. 42 and the 16. Gonna get things all started off side by side.
Rutabaga is my favorite vegetable.
Oh,
Just
all right.
had to throw that out there.
That's
It's not a bad one.
it really isn't, and it's definitely a strange one. Definitely overlooked here as the pace car makes its way on down onto a pit lane, and we get ready once again down into that Geico restart zone, and here we go. Green flag racing here again tonight. Side by side, they hustle and bustle their way down into turns 1 and 2. A great start there for that 60 machine, jumping up to that early lead, but whether or not that was maybe a little too quick and people are going to get a run, well, time will surely tell. 42 Kevin Winker right there beside him now as he's getting a big push from that 44 David Wright. trying to make a pass up there on the outside lane. New shoes, new fuel, as these drivers get back up into speed. For the most part here, Adam, it got pretty quick to that single file, but I think we're
big wreck. Coming into the tri-oval, quad oval, whatever you want to call it here. 3 or 4 trucks colliding.
Oh, the chef was involved there, 66.
And Chef Boyardee getting involved in that one. Let's go ahead and take a look back at kind of what happened here.
Yeah, he kind of ran into it. He had nowhere to go. The 3 got turned by the Cholino and the 33. Yeah, you'll see from there.
Indeed, as we jump on up here to our chopper camera, all brought to you by Sonic Graphic Designs. And on down. Oh, looked like the 3, was just getting a little loose there in turns 3 and 4, getting a little sideways, and now just nowhere to go there, and that causes that big old pileup.
Yeah, this is not a super speedway, but you can have the big one. You know, you can have, a bunch of trucks involved in one big wreck. Guys they might not be racing the same line, but they're going to be all up on each other.
On the restart too, with those cold tires, I think.
Yeah.
You're bunched up a little bit, and it causes more people to be involved.
What is that called? And cautions breeding cautions,
Yeah, that's what they say.
Stacking them all back up on each other like that.
I got a question. I mean, it's a little off topic. If y'all can handle it real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
You know how we talk to the drivers and, hey, you got a copy? It's AAA broadcasting, right?
Sure.
It's very similar to what the big guys say in Fox Sports and stuff, because we're.
Is that why we got copyright?
Maybe.
Struck last time.
So, and this is just my question to you two. Do you think Joey Logano's hairpiece has made him a better broadcaster?
It may have made him a better driver. It may, the aerodynamics of his that hairstyle may have helped him. I'm not sure.
Well, driver or broadcaster. I thought he's gotten better as a broadcaster. I think it might be the hair plugs.
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't seen him broadcast a race here lately.
Well, he does the Xfinity. Brown, you got any idea, or you probably don't even watch that?
You have an opinion on this extremely important matter?
Yeah, that conversation. I wasn't ready for it, man.
Okay, sorry. I apologize if I offended anybody. It was a serious question.
I mean, bald can be beautiful.
I like bald. I'm just what I'm saying.
I'm just saying I'm not.
But I'm just wondering if it helps, because asking for a friend. Maybe I should get some work done. Maybe make me better.
We do have some insider baseball information, which I know both of y'all like
Neil.
some of that stuff.
Neil.
Yeah, Neil.
That's fun.
Neil Lapidus saying, well, he's had a series of unfortunate events. Been iRacing for nearly a decade. Yeah, you and me both there, Neil. And never once have wrecked from cold tires leaving the pits. Man, it just happens to the best of us. And going on to say that he did actually have heart surgery back on Thursday, so he'll blame it on that. So, man, the fact that you're out here running after some heart surgery just a week ago, man, don't make us call your doctor, bro.
Yeah, God bless you, Neil. Hope you recover soon, bud.
Yeah,
that's serious business there. Takes a while to bounce back, so yeah, man. Cold tires will get you. It's gotten me. It's gotten.
I've done that.
It's got
trick.
You too.
Here, I know here for a fact I've done that same thing.
Pocono. Yep.
Well, no, that's when you doored me at Pocono. That was a whole.
I mixed up events. Sorry.
Oh gosh, here we go with Pocono. You got to remind me of all the bad times we've had together.
I'm sure you've messed up at Pocono too.
I don't think so. I was having a pretty good run.
It so happened that when I messed up at Pocono, I was the truck right below it, or the car. Right, this was Arca Series, wasn't it? Or Xfinity? Xfinity.
One of the two.
Yeah, and I plowed you.
Yeah,
sorry.
Pretty much.
Sorry, buddy. I'm going to be apologizing for that for the next 10 years, probably.
It's probably 2 or 3 years ago now. Maybe 3.
Hey, look, there's Carol Hansley.
Oh.
We mentioned her earlier. Thank you so much for being here to support Andrew in the 24.
Sweet.
I like the way you think, Neil.
What?
No, it's he's saying that his doctor did say that he's not allowed to drive, but he didn't say anything about sim racing.
That's freaking perfect.
I like that.
Well,
Well,
it's
here's the thing.
This is the same
what do you
kind of
think?
thought on you know drinking and driving. Don't drink and drive, but drink and sim race all you want.
Yep, that's fine.
Absolutely. Or broadcast sim racing.
That's
also
been
fine.
done before too.
It might be being done
Sometimes
right now.
it gets worse than other times.
Thank you so much, Matt Jones. Too. He said his race is over tonight. So
Yeah, that's
sorry, Chef. Looks like the pace car's down, bud.
That's the unfortunate, with no fast repairs, kind of what happens. A little thing like that can ruin a day. As the 16, oh my goodness, just absolutely with no answer there for that 42 of Kevin Winker as we head on down into the turns 1 and 2. That 16 just getting launched like out of a cannon out there up at the front. The 42 followed by the 44 and the 13 make their way, but we still got some side-by-side here. You got Cale Turbeville, Cody Staten going side by side here. Actually, that's the Staten brothers going side by side, battling against each other. Then the 39 of Josh Freed out there as well, slowly making his way on up. That was kind of his style of racing that we found out from last season. He'd start kind of out in the back and work his way on up, trying to find that rhythm, find that groove, and it's really working out for him as he's now up 10 spots up here into that top 10. But as of right now, your hard charger of the evening, 169, Brad Hunt out there up 14 in 14th in that 169.
And Neil's saying that he didn't drink and drive. He only drinks at stoplights.
That's a Louisiana thing.
Very nice.
The 20 of Fox
Yeah.
is having some issues with the internet. He's bouncing around, looks like, so watch out for that. Jesse Fox
Yep.
has an internet
Yep.
issue.
Jesse's blinking a little bit, but
He's trying to correct it, I think, is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
As we do have a challenger up on the outside, Kevin Winker with some help from the 44, trying to get around that 16 machine. 13, Mark Beverly just waiting for these guys to maybe make a little bit of a mistake before kind of making his way up around some of these drivers. Haas Beverly in the 22 machine running the fastest lap of the race, able to move up a few positions. He's now up 13 spots in that 22 machine, up into a top 10. 86 Jake Bunjo right around there as well.
I want to say a big thank you to all the fans and the drivers of this league. This league gave us our start as broadcasters, and we've been proud to bring y'all several seasons of HCK Beagles Racing League. I know we missed last week. I know a lot of the drivers were upset. Sorry about that, folks. Sometimes stuff happens, and we had a cyber attack happen on Brown's internet. So thank y'all so much for sticking with us, and we're proud to bring y'all the rest of the season here on AAA Broadcasting. And we'll be a little bit better about communication and stuff like that happens in the future.
Go around.
We got a truck going around.
44 David Wright, and I thought they got it
man.
collected, but now he's taking a trip down through the grass. For the most part, I think everybody able to maneuver around A-OK. No caution being waived. Oh my goodness.
My God. Everybody went below the white line there, which that's gonna keep it green here.
Oh my goodness. Talk about all mayhem breaking loose out there as the 44 gets snagged up there with the 88 there kind of late as well. But thankfully these drivers up on their toes, able to keep this thing green flag racing. 42 Kevin Winker is going to make use of that little hiccup and jump up there into the lead. 64 Cale Turbeville, and the 13 Mark Beverly made it clean and through as well. 15 Cody Staten staying up there kind of near that top 5 group as well. 16 Nick Gardner, who was battling for the lead there with that 42, trickled back a few spots. I think he got probably the most checked up out of everybody as that was happening around him, and he slips on back into 6th.
Tyler Beverly, got sideways and he ended up sideways on the track right in front of some guys. iRacing did not throw the yellow flag. And we're still green here. They were able to get everybody back on track and up to speed. So Not sure. Not sure the issue there. iRacing did not throw the yellow flag.
Looks like it. And see, 87, Jonathan Herbert. I know all you John Herb fans out there, they're getting all excited up there into the top 10, trying to sneak underneath the 4 of Eric Stoy right now, getting 8th place, but just not getting the run off the corner like that outside line was for that 4 of Stoy. It's just a whole bunch of OG members here up at the front. Winker, Beverly, that's Mark Beverly, Cale Tuberville, Cody Staten, all up here at the front with a new one here this season, Brian Torcha, hanging around up here inside this top 5.
Man, Stoy's. We've seen Eric Stoy in that Ford truck. We've seen him race for a couple of years here. He's not going to give up a position easily, okay? You're going to have to work to get around that Ford truck every time. So he's out there fighting for every position because in a league like this, every point freaking matters. So,
ooh, as we're 3 wide here. Oh my goodness! After that, kind of checkup incident there, the field got all spread out, but we still got ourselves some battles. 34 making his way on through. Same thing with that 86 all around underneath that 169. Now here comes that 26 of Jay Burton as well. He wants to get his nose into this mix as well. Right behind them, you got the 5 of Stephen Naylor and the 20 of Jesse Fox. They're going side by side here with that 20 machine up on the outside lane. The 1 of Nate Cogdell having to do some battling there as well. Whole bunch of people down there still on pit road getting those trucks all fixed on up. Again, that's kind of one of the things with no fast repairs is if you can't get it done, you might as well get stuff all fixed up. Even if you go laps down, come back on out, you never know how many spots you might be able to pick on up.
It's hard to stay on the lead lap when you're doing that, but you can top off with fuel and do the best you can out there. Get some of it fixed because every time you come down, you're going to lose a lap. So at least a lap. So come down, top it off with fuel, get your mandatory fixed, get some aero fixed, but don't sit there for too long because you're going to get lapped again.
Yeah, sometimes you just get frustrated and don't want to sit 25 minutes to get the repairs done. I get it, but it is best to try to stick it out if you can.
And that indeed, as a Neil, that's exactly what we like to hear. We actually had to get some more information on that situation there with the Lapidus. Of course, whenever we see multiple last names, we always wonder, well, are they brothers or what is it? And it's a father-son there. Randy being Neil's old man, and I'm glad to have y'all out here racing as the 42 goes around the 88, who had some damage putting the 88 now down 1 lap. So he's going to be right now holding on to that lucky dog spot if something were to happen and the flag would come on out. Nick Gardner trying to get his way back up here to the front. Still got some work to do. He's hanging around there, still in 6th on the back end there of that 81 of Brian Torcha. He also got some great battles going on still right around top 15 as well. You got still that 1 Nate Cogdell, Jesse Fox, Brad Hunt still having a great battle.
Yeah, Big Donnie's saying, I wonder how good Cale would be if he ever actually practiced. He never gets on iRacing except for the league races. Big Donnie, your guess is as good as ours, but Cale's he's one of those, what do you call it, a natural talent. So Cale in that 64 Klondike truck gets out there every week, and he just puts on one heck of a show. And yeah, tell him to start practicing. Maybe he'll be in 1st right now instead of 3rd. I don't know, just a thought.
Well, I'll tell you who's having issues out there is the 45 of Tyler Beverly right now in that Matthews Ford. It looks like some good hunting gear right there, but he is not having a good time hunting down anybody on the track. He is having serious issues. He's well below the pace right now.
At that he is, as a whole bunch of people making their way on around him. But you can also see, like, part of that might be engine damage. Another part could be aero damage as well as suspension damage there. That truck has gotten beat up here tonight. One of those Beverly guys out there. Glad to have him racing here with us with his dad. I think Haas is his dad here. Haas already calling, no, he's joining right back out onto the track after being in the pits for a couple minutes.
So you got Mark, Haas, and Tyler, all Beverleys. We got.
I don't know if Mark is related. I think that just might be the.
Oh, is that just coincidence?
It might just be coincidence. Well, if Mark finishes there in second, we'll be able to find out.
We'll be able to talk to him if he holds that spot.
Yeah, that'd be strange. Well,
this Tyler's from Ohio. Where are the other guys from? Let me look.
them Ohio boys, you got to watch out for them. We already had a problem with those guys.
They're all from Ohio. What are the odds?
Yeah, they're all together. That's a gang, is what you got right there. You better watch out for them.
That's a gang.
That's a gang.
The Beverly gang.
That's a gang. They are
there
out
we
to
go.
hurt
We got
you.
the Beverly gang.
Them Ohio boys are mean and tough. I know we've talked about this before. Now we run across some more, so I'm going to be quiet about those guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything crazy.
Ass.
No, don't come after me. I don't want no part of the Ohio boys in a gang like that.
Kevin Winker, Alan, out there putting on a clinic, basically. Driver of the 42, always impressive here in this league, but at this track, seems to be pretty much at home here.
That indeed, we did start tonight with 29 drivers. We had 3 call it a night. Both the Lapiduses and Matthew Jones calling it an evening, having a little too much damage to get repaired. It looks like Frank Ranger on his way on into the pits now as well. He's getting all set up for possibly a final pit stop as we're closing in on the 30 laps to go. And that's the other thing to watch out for. You know, these guys all pitted right around lap 32 or so. So they're coming up on their next round of pit stops here. It's the 87, Jonathan Herbert, trying to get up underneath the 34, Jesse Calloway, which looks like he will be able to do. Now he's trying to attack that double nickel of Tom Barish and slide his way deeper into this top 10. No, the 34 got a great run up there on the outside lane. Was able to keep fighting for that spot at least.
Well, if these guys are going to stretch that pit window, so I think if guys think, well, 20 laps on fuel and tires is going to be good for me. So they may pit right here at lap 75 or so, in about 10 laps. So that will give them enough fuel to not just make the finish, but maybe make a green-white checker or two. Do we have green-white checkers here tonight?
I believe we do, as we
do. I think we got a couple.
Jump into that gyro camera, and you can kind of see how bumpy this track actually is right around here with the 5 Steven Naylor trying to make a pass here on that 169 of Brad Hunt. And I know on screen this pavement surface here in Las Vegas, it looks smooth, and I mean, for the most part, it's actually one of the smoothest tracks here on the sim, but man, you're still fighting some bumps, and you can see him having to be a real wheelman out there.
These guys are good at them. I don't see how they do it on a rough road like this, but it's kind of like running I-20 through Shreveport.
Turbeville had some issues right there.
He got into the outside wall, didn't he?
He had to check up, so a guy in front of him was coming in the pits. Yeah, I-20 going into Shreveport. You talking about Shotsport over there? Yeah, you got to be careful.
It's rough.
It's dangerous. It's just like I-20 in Dallas.
Don't try to carry a watermelon home because it's going to be, it's going to be a watermelon slushy by the time you get down there.
Well, if you're in Dallas, they just shoot it. So,
it's going to be a Swiss cheese watermelon.
Yeah, they just shoot you when you cut out in front of somebody. They don't. There's no more words anymore, just bullets. Man, so you talked about Kevin Winker and how good he is here at this track, but what about his rig, his setup, his iRacing room? I mean, it's like a shrine to iRacing. That thing is, and racing. Yeah, he's got the coolest setup.
He really does have cool place, but it's so big. Why is it so big? You could
sheet
hold
metal.
the spring formal in there for the high school, the local high school. It's got so
spring
much
formal.
square footage in there.
And speaking of coming on down into the pits there himself with his teammate of Cody Staten, Brian Torcha making their way on in as well as they're approaching this money stop here. Can't believe he's got the LED lights going there. That would get me all confused. That would get me distracted. And that's also going to give the lead back to the 16 of Nick Gardner here as we make our way down through and getting some green flag pit stops underway. The final time these guys are going to have to come on down to the pits, barring any incident here. 64 Cale Turbeville making that turn on down onto pit road here as well. Josh Freed staying on out. He's definitely one of those long run guys. He likes to push it to the limit, come on in when there's only, like a tenth of a lap of fuel left in that thing.
Well, I mean, is that kind of a smart move just in case you do get a yellow flag after, some of these guys have pitted? Maybe we've already seen guys, coming out with cold tires and then sliding up the track and causing a yellow. So do you take that risk? Do you risk maybe running out of fuel to get a yellow flag here at some point? I think it's at a certain point, it's worth the risk.
I don't know. It's like rolling dice in Waco.
Sure.
You don't know. I know how to roll snake eyes. You seen me do that, right? I'm trying to roll snake
Oklahoma,
eyes.
though. That wasn't.
Well, it's a casino.
Yeah, it counted, but
Yeah.
Oh, coming into the pits. Oh
man.
no, 87. Jonathan Herbert having a rough entry onto pit road, snags that inside pit wall pretty hard. Thankfully, it doesn't look like he's got any smoke coming out that rear end, though, so he's at least able to get it refired and back up and running. But we always talk about, green flag pit stops. They're tough, man, especially coming down to, 55 miles an hour from the 160, 170 that they're doing here on this tail end of this run. Man, it's tough, and just like that, you see people go on around.
So at a lot of tracks, you think, well, I don't have to practice green flag pit stops because we're probably not going to get any. Yeah, it's 50 miles an hour here. Coming out of turn 4 at Las Vegas, you're moving along. You're cooking. You're doing 175 miles an hour. And to get it back down to 50, that takes some practice. So hopefully most of these guys practiced getting that thing back down so they can make that pit stop here at the end.
And you have to do like a real life practice with worn out tires too, because you got to remember those tires are worn out and they're going to act a little bit different than if you're just kind of practicing, as you drive around the track. So
Sounds
a lot
like,
of pit takers right now.
Here comes the one down.
And Nick Gardner making his way back out of the pit lane here and trying to get back up to speed as quick as he can. Nate Cogdale now making that dive on down onto pit road, giving the lead away to the 24 of Andrew Hansley. He's still got to come on down for his pit stop. I think he's really the only one that we're waiting on. Now the 88 of Zach Staten as well, but Zach Staten is also currently a lap down. Is down there in the pits, and I think calling it an evening. The 55 double nickel, Tom Barish, I think he's throwing it back up onto the hauler here. Thomas Fain, he's been down there in the pits for a little while. As here comes that.
Oh, yellow's out.
Burton.
Ooh,
And Hoss Beverly.
Yeah, he didn't like that. Hoss Beverly didn't like that one.
Hoss the Boss Beverly getting involved here in incident with Jay Burton. As I don't know if there was maybe a miscommunication of what was going on or what happened here. Let's go ahead and take a look back. Oh man, it looked like so the 22 was setting up to come down into the pits. He was running slow down there on the apron and just with a massive difference of speed here. Looks like the 87 gets up into the back of the 22. And, oh, man, just nowhere to go for Jay Burton there.
Ooh. I'm telling you, don't mess with that gang now. Be careful.
Hold
The
on.
Beverly Clan will come and get you, boy.
Yeah, that's almost.
Hey, look.
I don't want to say it, but criminal enterprise. Maybe those guys are. You gotta watch out for them.
Got a bunch of folks maybe feigning a run onto pit lane, including the 42.
Why do they do that?
It's not. Well, I don't know. He's not being scored your leader. It's Mark Beverly right now being scored your leader. I was going to mention something about HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com. This league does have a website, and that's what it is, HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com. You can go on there and check out the standings, the schedule, race results. They have driver bios on there, which is really cool. And admin sponsors. You can make a donation via PayPal by going on there and clicking on their links. So go check it out. HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com. Was that a good broadcaster thing?
Yeah.
Turner, you got to do the little pause thing.
Yeah, no, that was good inflection right there. You must have got those hair plugs. So
hair plugs. Oh
Yeah.
man,
I'm just saying that's what
if I was going to do
Logano
any
did.
kind of enhancement, it'd be on my mustache. Yeah, that's where
Why don't you get the wax like Raleigh fingers and just
Yeah, I do have a mustache. I do use it.
you use the wax? Why
Yeah,
don't you have a cool
cool.
mustache then?
Oh, come on now. We'll have a facial hair standoff here one of these days.
Yeah, you didn't like that, did you? It was like going for the jugular for a beard guy.
He works at a microbrewery. Let's go after his mustache. I see how it is.
Big hipster.
We can't have any of these hipster people run around.
No.
Oh man.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to be hip is winning this race, right, Brown? I don't know. We're 20 laps out. This is it's changed the game a little bit here.
That it has as we get ready to get things all lined back on up. 13 Mark Beverly will have the lead with the 42 Kevin Winker right there to his outside, but people really feeling the pressure here as we get ready. Or the guys right behind us, they're running out of laps. Gonna be going back to green flag racing with 17 laps to go. Pretty much everyone's pit cycle has been completed. Some other guys just coming on down, maybe topping up on some extra fuel just in case we do go to a green-white checker, as well as maybe using that last extra set of tires. I mean, they really didn't pit too long ago, but I wouldn't have been surprised if someone came down, maybe changed some things on up and gambled a little bit here using that final set of tires that they had saved.
Yeah, it looks like the pace car is going to make one more lap around here, so it gives us a little bit more time. But yeah, I want to take this time to thank everybody for out there, for joining us out there in YouTube land. Click that thumbs up button if you like what you see tonight here, and if you want to be notified of future races, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We thank you.
Yeah.
We thank you all for joining us tonight.
Yeah, you gotta join us all the time. We do all kinds of craziness. Sometimes we get wild and crazy. I start talking about aliens, and then we get banned. And
Yeah, and then we get suspended.
it just depends on the night. Right now, I think we're doing a pretty good, calm job of calling a race.
We do a dirt race,
Yeah.
which we don't normally do, and it ends up being fun to watch, actually. So I was told.
Oh, Kevin Reese has a question out there. We
Okay.
might have to hit that in after we get started here, Brown.
That indeed is. We got the 1342 side by side, followed by the 1581 starting right there behind them. And then clearing out that top five is the 64, 1639, the 4, the 9, and the 5 all up here inside this top 10, as here we go. Back up and running, green flag racing here once again, closing in on the final few laps as we head on out there back to the green flag. Great start there for that 13. Mark Beverly trying to pick up that race win here this evening. 42 Kevin Winker in the 15. Cody Staten with the 81 of Torchia in tow. You got the the 39 of Josh Freed. People also changed up their numbers this season. That's what's getting me. As they got some side-by-side action going on there with the 64 and the 4. Eric Stoy making his way up and around Cale Turbeville out there, as we got some slicing and dicing being had here up at the front. The 42 able to get at least side-by-side here, racing for the lead with the 81. Ooh, he looked like he was peeking inside. Now he's peeking on down low, almost 3 wide, as the 13 kind of drifts up into position behind that 42. The 81 with the bumper right there. 13 was able to at least dip down a little bit there, trying to pick up as much speed as he can coming back down off of that corner. Here comes that 34, Jesse Calloway. We haven't talked about him a whole heck of a lot here this evening, but slowly making his way back up through this field, up 10 spots, up to 6th right now, sneaking his way around that 4 of Eric Stoy, as Nick Gardner runs the fastest lap of the race now in that 16 machine, trying to get back up there to the lead where he was for a good chunk of the early part of this race.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the 34 of Jesse Calloway out there, Carolina native as well, out there having one heck of a race. That 34 truck, whoa, it got a little crowded there with the 7 at the top of the track. Ooh, Brett Summers was
beating and banging there.
I think we might have even touched a little door action right there with the 81 and Callaway.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of a door rub there, as we continue this battle up here at the front. Crunch time here, closing in on the final 10 laps to go, with these guys really making a headway here tonight. Answer your question there, Mako. You got the 20 of Jesse Fox. He's out there in 14th right now, your last car on the lead lap. Just a little bit off the pace there, kind of behind these guys.
Being on the lead lap is
it's huge.
Is everything here, especially if you get a late caution here. Anybody can win a race if you're on the lead lap at the end here, but that's where you got to be. So he can't go a lap down, so I expect the 20 to be fighting for his life when the pack comes around.
As here comes the 13 with a big charge up here at the front once again. The 39, Josh Freed, making his late push now as well, trying to get up underneath that 42, Kevin Winker, and maybe help out with a little bit of some bump drafting here as the 13 trickles down onto the apron. Ooh, you can see the 39 as we go 3 wide with the 42, the 13 and the 39. Oh my goodness. They're able to just make it fit.
Josh Freed is not giving up. He's got a pusher behind him now as they go into the next set of turns side by side.
And 39 and the 13 battling for this race lead. The 16 with the 42 right there behind them. Brian Torchia having a great race here this evening, trying to hold off the 4 and the 15 as well as the 34. Man, that's a lot to do. Oh, as we got a truck going around.
That's Eric Stoy in the 4 sideways. He had a little help though, I think.
Ooh, it was getting racy right there. It was bound to happen.
And it was, as we head on up there to our chopper camera, again brought to you by that Sonic Graphic Designs. As I don't know,
15.
Oh, he might have turned up in front of Staten. It's hard to tell right there. We got to see his chopper view there.
Yes,
Cody Staten.
To me, it looked like both trucks held their line pretty good. I think the 4 trickled up just a little bit. There was some netcode, but I think the contact was going to happen either way. And the 4 just goes for a wild ride, and the 15 nowhere to go, just gets sandwiched back up into him. as the rest of the field makes their way on through. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one from Brad Hunt's perspective, as I think he was nope, he was a little too far back. Cale Turbeville was right up there, so let's follow around with Cale. You just squeezing on by.
8 or 10 inches between those trucks. They got to fix this netcode thing because I don't know. Had he had the opportunity to save it, they might have been able to avoid each other, but netcode strikes again. We got a lot of people pitting right here on lap 88.
They're getting their last set of tires put up underneath that car. Josh Freed staying on out. Same thing with Brad Hunt, Andrew Hansley, and Jesse Fox. So that will be your starting 4. And that's not something to, sneeze at here, guys. That's a lot of traffic that these guys with the newer tires are going to have to fight through.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble coming down and getting new tires, especially the more ground you got to make up, the harder it's going to be, right? You're going to have a short amount of time to get up front, so we'll see if the gamble pays off for these guys in the pits.
Sure, the window's about to close. You got less than 10 laps to go, so the intensity's ramping up. The aggression is starting to ramp up here. Hopefully we get some green flag laps in here because, you guys have watched this as many races here as I have. These guys are going to be fighting hard these last few laps. We might be using a couple green, white. What's it? Green, white checker finishes.
I don't know how many they have. I don't know how many they have. I can't call. It's not on the call sheet here.
I don't know.
But man, we got Kevin Reese asking, what kind of computer do you need for this? Is he talking about for iRacing?
iRacing,
I think so. So here's the beautiful thing about it is, as you can throw as much money at it or as little money as it pretty much as you want. You can basically just build a basic gaming computer and you're all set. You run into the problem with your peripherals, with your steering wheel, your pedals. I mean, we know people that race with a controller, but trust me, you don't want to do that.
Don't do that. Yeah,
triple monitors.
Whether you do a single monitor, multiple monitors, VR, and that's just getting into it. Then you have to start paying for the cars, the tracks. It gets yeah.
So
still better than buying a real.
100%.
Sure, yeah. So like basic getting into it. Make sure you got 16 gigs of RAM, a decent, video card, decent processor. I think I've got a what is this one?
The website too, iRacing, they do a good job telling you what's good and what's bad.
Yeah, that's right. iRacing can tell you. You can say like diagnose my system, and they'll tell you if you've got a good enough setup to run or not. But
yeah, just like anything in life, now how do I raise kids? Well, just go to the YouTube channel,
or go
how to raise kids.
CDB.
YouTube, ChatGPT, you could do that as well.
Chat CDB.
Oh, that's a whole other chat. That's different.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all told me to go to this Chat CBD thing and ask it questions.
No, don't go to that.
And it'll write an essay for you.
That's probably the communism one.
Oh,
so
okay.
Don't go over there. Listen here. Here's something good. Carol Hansley says, I like listening to you guys with the smiley face. Finally. Thank you. That's a neat compliment. I mean, somebody actually
heard from her in a while. I mean,
likes what we're doing out here.
We haven't covered HCK in a while.
Most of the time, people just complain, say, hey, that guy, he talks too much or he does this. So that's nice for. Yeah. I like positive. Thank you, Carol. That was nice of you.
I mean, why are we paying these guys? I mean,
these guys are idiots.
These guys are stupid. And here we go. Pace car getting ready to jump off here as they exit turn 4. Brown, what can we expect here for the end?
Expect the unexpected. That's the That's the only thing I can think of here as we get ready to head on back to that green flag with the 39 and the 169 getting things started off side by side. 5 laps remaining. Oh, the 39 gets the power down good, but the 169 not so much. The 24 Andrew Hansley as well, kind of trickling on backwards as, whoo, man, that 39 out there getting a great restart here, and that is exactly what he needs with this 5 laps to go and a bunch of guys with fresher tires all hungry to make up some positions. And speaking of, here comes that 13 Mark Beverly sneaking on down and through, 3 wide right behind him with the 81, the 16 now, and the 24 as well, as here comes that 13 and the new tires with a heck of a lot of speed. 87, oh, just trying to stay out of the way here, and here comes the rest of the field on by him as well. Goodness gracious, here with Josh Freed still out in front, but man, look at that time that those fresh tires have made on up, man. It was a gamble for the 39, and he knew it, and man, sometimes in Vegas you win, but most of the time, boy, you lose. But this race ain't over yet. 4 laps to go, and they still have to at least get around him. As the 13 looks up high, the 42 looks down low, maybe trying to give that 39 a little bit of a push. Both drivers heading on down to that apron, still side by side as they're going through turns 1 and 2.
Beautiful racing after this restart. Josh Freed doing everything he can, but look at these guys. They're going outside and inside of him here. Old tires, they just can't hack it. But he did the best he could. Good for Josh Freed for trying to make something happen there at the end.
And making the inside line work there is that 42 of Winker. As, oh, squeeze play being put on there by that 13 to the 39 as they make their way back down across the line. Oh, the 39 gets turned around. Oh, goodness, that's a hard impact.
We have 3 attempts at a green-white checker. This is going to be the first. Josh Freed.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of blocking. Was that like Bubba Wallace blocking where he tried to block 3 times, or was it just regular blocking?
No, that was 2 trucks trying to occupy the same place, I think.
Oh, yeah, that happens too. Ooh.
Yeah, between the 30, started with the 34 and the 39. Let's go ahead. And it's tight racing here at the ends of these things. The 39 trying to come on down to kind of hit his corners, but the 34's bumper was there, but just nowhere to go as the traffic caught up to him here. 81 to torch you hard up into that outside wall. Goodness gracious.
And thanks to great admins by the guy they have in this league, Michael Newton. He's having to dissect all this stuff with replays and look at the broadcast, looking at what he's got, listening to, what the drivers have to say. He's trying to parse everything and try to deal with who needs penalties, who needs waiver rounds, all that kind of stuff. So thanks to Michael Newton for doing everything he does here for HCK Beagles Racing League.
Yeah, no, he does a good job. And I got a question for you too as well. Since we have a quick break, do you think McDonald's is going to actually upgrade their burgers with this new thing they're doing, or are they just going to stay the same? McDonald's is trying to do something different and make their burgers better.
Their ice cream machine is always broken, so
you don't have faith in what they're trying to do.
No, I think if they try to do something different, another piece of equipment is going to break all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm just interested in the
Albert
dynamics
Anderson
of McDonald's.
Us. Thank you so much, Albert Anderson, for joining us. He said, looking forward to a great finish. This ought to be good. The poll finished, huh? There, Brown?
That we did, and we had a whole bunch of people on out there voting, and 80% of them said that we would see a green-white checker finish here tonight, and that would be correct.
Right. I was right.
Who's the dummy that said no? Oh, I was me.
That was you.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought they could survive it, but I was wrong. Me and somebody else. It looks like. Don't feel bad.
Well, and you just called somebody dumb.
No, I'm the dumb one. It was.
We're gonna lose. We're up to 330
I don't want to
describe.
No, I don't want to get Tucker Carlson. No, I love everyone. Please.
You want to get Don Lemond?
I don't want any of that. We're just trying to have fun and make our little, evenings go by here. Sorry, Brown. I'm not trying to get us in trouble.
Well,
We just throw a little bit of pop. We throw pop culture into some iRacing sometimes.
We throw a little bit of current events in there every now and then, but
Yeah.
you know, spy balloons and whatnot.
Yeah. And if you want to hire us as your broadcaster, you can always tell us, but don't do that. You know, we just go by whatever they tell us to do. And these guys here, HCK has been great. They love to just let us kind of have free reign sometimes. So, you know, sometimes I take advantage.
We haven't had many official complaints.
No, I don't. We really
A
haven't.
few.
We keep it PG.
So green white checker. So let's talk a little bit about the explain to folks what a green white checker means. It's, you know, they're going to take the green flag, and then if the lead car takes the white, it's over. Is that kind of how it works?
So what will happen here is we'll take the green flag here in just a moment or so. Yeah, explain it to the folks. And what they'll do is once when the green flag waves, they'll go make a lap. If they make it all the way back around and the leader crosses the line, the next flag to be waved will be the white flag. And after that, there's no cautions. It's racing to the end. So it doesn't matter if everybody gets all sideways. Try to find your way up through that mess and get as best of a finishing position that you can. However, if a wreck happens before the leader crosses that start-finish line, we head on down there to get things all racked back up here once again.
We got 3 attempts, so this could be a long night, fellas.
Thank God we have somebody that's serious.
Sure.
It is going to be fun to see what happens here. Everybody should be good on fuel. Tires, everybody's fairly close on tires. This is all going to be about racing here in the top 5.
At that, it is 42 Kevin Winker, 13 Mark Beverly, starting side by side. Nick Gardner and Jesse Calloway starting right there behind them. 169 Brad Hunt in the 5. Steven Naylor still hanging around up there as well. Got Jesse Fox, Cale Turbeville, Cody Staten, Nate Cogdell, and it looks like a whole bunch of people as things kind of jockey around here for position, as here we go, getting ready for our first attempt at a green-white checker here tonight, and away we go. Out with a great start there is that 42 of Kevin Winker, out in front of that 13 of Mark Beverly. Right behind them, side by side, go the 34 and the 16. 34 tucks back down into line as they make their way down through turns 1 and 2. Looks like we have a 20 car down there on the apron. Hansley yep. Trickling his way kind of towards the back. 169, the 64 as well as the 5 looked like they were going to go 3 wide there for just a second as the field rounds out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway, coming back across the line. White flag is waving, so this is it, the final lap of tonight's race, and we got side by side between the 13, the 42. The 13 down underneath the 42 picks up that spot, but that's opening a hole here for that 16 and Nick Gardner to send it on in on that bottom line, getting nose to nose with that 42 of Kevin Winker down through turns 3 and 4. Rounding out of turn number 4, it's going to be the 13 of Mark Beverly out in front, picking up the race win. The 16 just gets the edge on the 42 to round out your top 3.
So Mark, Nick, Kevin, great race from these 3 guys. They showed promise all race long. All 3 of them started in the top 10. They qualified well, and they finished great out here tonight. So congrats to those 3 guys.
Yeah. It was a good ending. Really clean race. I think they had to be with 0 fast repairs. So, man. Fun stuff at Vegas. Now let's go hit the slot machines, boys.
And someone who's going to have a little extra change in their pocket to do so is that 13 of Mark Beverly. I don't know if that's actually fact, so don't hold me to that there, Mark.
Sounds cool.
It sounds cool. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, right, Turner?
That's a fact, actually. They're doing it all the time if you watch your evening news.
He does some impressive burnouts down there across that start-finish line.
Yeah, man.
Those are
It's awesome.
nice tight circle there, man. He's been practicing.
I like it. You've been practicing that. Practicing green flag pit stops and your victory donut. You gotta do both.
Absolutely indeed. As a whole bunch of great finishes out there, and we had looked like a good solid finish for just about everybody on out there. As we can head on down there and talk with some of these drivers. Getting this one started off will be the 42 of Kevin Winker, as things slowly find their way. Talking to the 42 machine and team captain of Team America, Kevin Winker, finishing here tonight in a hard-fought third-place finish, man. And it looked like you and Team America had a great run going for you. We're up front just about all race long, especially early on. But then, the whole end of the race aggression things started coming on out, and things got all tied on up, and we find ourselves with a green-white checker situation, and that 42 machine looked pretty strong.
Yeah, I was kind of upset to see that last. I think I had him there, but overall, I mean, a great race, third place. Got a top 10 last week, so not too bad to kick off season. It was a fun battle with Mark and Nick there all night. Those guys are really fast, so always fun to battle them every week.
Things got hot up in Wisconsin. I mean, Las Vegas, because that's where you virtually are right now. But talk about next week. Auto clubs coming up. That big giant 2-mile spaghetti-o track you guys go to is a lot of fun. Talk about the challenges you guys are going to face next week. What's the difference between here and there? I know it's a lot wider, a lot faster. What did you guys do tonight to be successful that you won't have to worry about next week, and vice versa?
Oh, well, first thing, obviously, tire wear is huge there. I mean, you got to really save the tires. You can't just, I mean, here it's the draft, and you're basically flat out basically towards the end until the end of the run. But Auto Club, you really got to save your tires, so it's going to be about tire management, obviously fuel management. I personally like ripping the fence there, so hopefully I'll be up there a lot. But Auto Clubs should put on a great show, 4 or 5 wide, lots of lanes to run, so hopefully it's another good show next week.
Yeah, it was a good show this week. You really had a heck of a run. Stayed out front quite a bit. Just couldn't finish it off there at the end. These guys are giving you a little run for your money early on in the season. You're going to have to adapt and take care of these guys, huh?
Yeah, Mark and Nick and that whole team, they're really fast. I race them in other leagues, so I know them pretty well. We race tight, hard but tight, so I trust them and everything. So should be a good battle with those guys all season. And then obviously my own team, I mean, they were up there. Josh couldn't make it tonight, but Zach and Coder were up there at least half of the race, and then I think they kind of got in some trouble there towards the end.
Cool. Shout outs, any shout outs real quick?
Yeah, first and foremost, obviously Bruce Muhlberger, Muhlberger Custom Homes. He's a huge supporter of the whole team, me, so big shout to him. Shout out to Nate Cogdale at Sonic Graphic Design for making this killer paint scheme. I know he has one on his truck. I think Mark has one, so a lot of guys use his paints, so check him out on Facebook. That's Sonic Graphic Design. All my friends and family that are watching, Shauna, Brett, Nicole, Justin, Brandon, everybody else that's watching, Winker Nation, everybody out there. Can't thank you guys enough. And then the league for putting this on, and then you guys as always put it on the broadcast. We appreciate it.
Awesome job out there. 42, Mr. Kevin Winker, walking home with a fantastic third place finish here tonight, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Sweet. Move on up this leaderboard. We'll talk to tonight's second place finisher, and that will be the 16 of Nick Gardner. And man, Nick, you looked like you were going to be the class of field. Everyone's going to have to try to beat you first half of this race before the kind of caution started flowing here, and having a great run in that machine here tonight in Vegas. And what do you kind of attribute that to?
Man, I'll take the second place. I know it looked good early. I kind of got I kind of got hit and shuffled back, which was unfortunate. The track position's so important. But man, that last run, when we went green, I really thought I had a real big chance because I knew everyone else had like 12 plus tires than I did. So my plan was to just try to stay up there. Once I got the lead, I felt like I would have just drove off. I mean, I had like 12 plus tires in them, but then that caution came out. Then we got on the same set of tires, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be crazy. So, yeah, it was crazy. It was fun racing with Mark and Wrinkle there. I got we started battling there, and Mark almost wasn't clear enough, but I backed off the throttle and let him in when he went into the bottom there in 3. I was trying to be a good teammate. I didn't want to take us both out. We've already had such a good night, so I was like, screw it. I'll let him do him. So, but no, it was cool. It's a cool finish 1-2. I'm excited. It's finally got a good run, and I'm looking forward to this season.
Well, Nick, it's great to see a truck running out there, that Chevy Silverado of yours, with all the agricultural sponsors on it. I worked for an ag company for a long time, and I have a lot of farmers in my family, so it's really, really cool to see that Chevy running out there with so many cool sponsors on it. Next week, man, you guys go to California. Auto Club is a freaking badass track. You guys always produce great racing on it. What's the key to victory there? I mean, you guys are going to be relying some on teammates and stuff. What's y'all's plan moving into next week?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like honestly, I feel like if you can save the right front, you'll kill everyone up off the corner, especially turn 2. I think that's the biggest key. As long as you save your tires and don't drive it in too hard, I really feel like that's going to be a really fun track. I'm looking forward to that one. I hope we get a little more spread out. I mean, I know these trucks can be fun at these mile and a halves, but it's kind of nice to get a breather and kind of separate from people a little bit. Instead of being on the edge all the time, like like this kind of track. But I think Auto Club will produce some really good racing. And you know what? It's a lot bigger. Hopefully it stays green. Hopefully there's a little pit strategy. Who can save the tires, who saves the set. So I think it's gonna be. I think it's really gonna be a fun race.
Well, good job tonight. It was a fun race. Watching y'all out there. Who would you like to give some shout outs to?
Just appreciate Kevin and Mark and racing those guys up front. It was really fun. I love, my favorite thing about league racing is just clean, respectful racing, and just really love working with the teammates, Mark and Ross and or Haas and Brett. And then I'd like to thank my wife for letting me come out here and race with everyone, and then just thank Michael for putting the league on and everything and taking care of everything, and Gregory, I know he's been putting in a lot of work. Appreciate them letting me come in here and race with these guys. It's my first year with this league, so I'm really looking forward to meeting new people and also you guys, the broadcast. I appreciate you guys coming on board and doing this. We're really excited to have you guys. So thank you.
Awesome, man. Well, great job driving out there tonight, Nick. Congratulations on the second place finish, man, and good luck coming up there over at Auto Club. It's sure to be a good show, man. Have a great season.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
And with that, we get to talk now with the man of the hour. It's going to be the number 13 machine, Mr. Mark Beverly, picking up the race win here tonight. And before we get into your race here, Mark, there's one question that's been burning everybody's mind here ever since we mentioned it and noticed it. Is there a relation with you and the other Beverlys?
Yeah, there sure is.
Oh, boy. All right, break it down for us. What is it?
All right, so Haas is my dad, and Tyler is my brother.
Awesome, man. We love seeing family stuff out here, and of course we were doing some investigation. We're like, oh man, well he's from Ohio too, so there's gotta, you know, everything's got to all line up, and thankfully it does, man. But talking about tonight, picking up the race win at the time looked like a bold strategy. We had some people stay on out there, one of those last cautions, but you guys with the new tires definitely made it work, and that helped you launch yourself back up through this field and pick up tonight's win.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to work out because there was, you know, I think 5 to 6 guys that stayed out. I didn't know if I get trapped because this is such an aero track. So I didn't know if it'd work out, but ended up getting to the front. And then Kevin Winker, we raced pretty clean together. We've raced in a lot of other leagues and whatnot. So I knew it was going to be a fun battle, but I was able to get underneath him there, coming out of 4 and just hold him off.
So there's one Beverly brother, Tyler, that runs a Ford, but you and your dad run Chevrolets. That's kind of like my family. You know, we're all kind of split. Some of us are Ford guys. Some of us are Chevrolet guys, but I guess you see that in every family. But congrats so much on the win. Well earned. This is not an easy track to run at. You know, people talk about the aero being important here. It is, but line choice and everything is important here for the purposes of managing tire wear. And you had the right formula out there. And you also had great restarts out there tonight. Talk about the restarts. What was the key to victory on your restarts out there tonight?
Yeah, I'm usually kind of, I don't know, average at them, but for some reason tonight I was just able to get really good jumps there. And then just had that run coming out, getting a little bit of draft from behind them and then trying to take advantage of it and not slow up your momentum. So, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of was able to watch the guy and just kind of guess maybe when he was going to go or time it up right. So it's worked out for me, I guess.
Yeah, it worked out. Those Ohio boys are tough. You showed it tonight. Congrats, and you got some shout outs before we let you go.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to my team at Dowden Racing with Nick. He finished second. My dad and Brett Summers, and then shout out to my brother. And shout out to the league and all the sponsors. They put on a good show here, and then you guys for putting on a broadcast, so we look good.
Yeah, that indeed, and someone looked like the best out of all of them, and that is you, Mark Beverly, in the 13 machine, picking up the race win here tonight at Vegas, man. Congratulations. Go celebrate this win, but then get right back to it here coming up next week and the rest of the season here, buddy.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
And with that, we close out the evening full of racing, and boy, oh boy, as always, Vegas never disappointing as we have another great showing and another great race.
This league is promised to produce some great racing here this season, and you know, this second race of the season, we obviously, for obvious reasons, you know, we didn't get to cover the first, but the second race has been great. Can't wait to cover the next, what is it, the next 13 14 races.
Yeah, something like that.
We got a big schedule coming up, so can't wait to see the rest of the races.
Looking forward to it, and hope those Beverly boys don't. I was a term of endearment. Y'all are your gang, you know, like
Beverly gang.
It's nice. I'm not trying to be. I don't want them coming after me. Just let's clarify that. But fun race all in all, and glad to be back in the saddle with HCKBRL.com.
Adam's afraid to get his ass beat.
Daddy, I would be too, man.
I'm old now. I don't want to fight. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
I like to watch the fights.
Well, speaking of being a lover, not a fighter, let's go ahead and tell these fans where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight. Getting us started off is that 13 of Mark Beverly with the big time win, 16 of Nick Gardner, and the 42 of Kevin Winker round out that podium with a great fight there in this green-white checker finish. 34, Jesse Calloway having a great run, up 12 spots to finish here in fourth. 64, Cale Turbeville does Cale Turbeville things, finds himself up there in that top 5. A great run there for the Klondike machine. 169, Brad Hunt, talk about a great race, up 22 spots. Your hard charger of the day finishing up there in 6th. Great run there, Brad. You got the 5 of Steven Naylor up 13 spots, finish in 7th. Another great run there. The 20, Jesse Fox having a great run as well, up 14 to finish there in 8th inside this top 10. Great running there. Josh Freed, man, it looked like he was going to be one of those good guys.
He was a winner.
Man, he was looking good with a bold strategy. Gets into a late accident there and ends up going around, but still finds himself up there onto a top 10 9th place finish for the 39 machine, with the 1 of Nate Cogdell having a great finish, rounding out that top 10.
And the 44 truck of David Wright will finish in 11th place. 12th will be Jake Bunjo in the 86. One of the Staten brothers there, the 15 of Cody, he'll finish in 13th place. 14th will be Andrew Hansley, the 4th in the 24. The 4 of Eric Story will finish in 15th place. He was the last truck on the lead lap. Let's see, John Sciolino. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
John Sciolino will, in the 33, will finish in 16th place. 17th, Zach Staten in the 88. The 7 of Brett Summers will finish in 18th place. 19th place will be John Herbert in the 87. The 3 of Thomas Fain will round out your top 20.
Yeah, 21st, 81 of Brian Torchia. 22nd, Frank Ranger Jr. in the 17 truck. 23rd, 26 of J.A. Burton, Jay Burton. 24th, double nickel, Tom Barish. 25th, the 45 of Tyler Beverly. Then 26th, right behind him there, Haas Beverly.
The Pop.
And the 22 machine. 27th would be the chef. The 66, Matthew Jones. And then 28th, Randy Lapidus. Right behind him, Neil Lapidus. 28th, 29th, we got so many kinfolk here. It's a fun time.
For sure.
And that rounds it out. Michael Newton was your race control. Thank you to him.
Indeed. And as always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and joining us, because you guys are the reason why we do this. Absolutely love seeing chat absolutely blowing up on out there, and we can communicate and have some fun with all of y'all. As always, though, we do ask, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It's all free to do, and all it does is gets you the quick link to whenever we go live, because we go live quite frequently here, starting up here in May. It's going to be 5 nights a week once again, so you don't want to miss a second of that race in action. And if you do like any of that race in action that you see, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, so that way we can continue to trick Mark Zuckerberg into allowing us to continue to broadcast on the YouTubes over here. We also have to say a big thank you to tonight's sponsors, the race sponsor of Hansley Motorsports. Thank you, Andrew, and the Hansley Motorsports team for jumping on board here for this race. We also have to thank Abruzzi Raceway, having some fantastic race apparel and gear and anything you need, whether it's real life or sim life. Be sure to go check them out at AbruzziRaceway.com and get yourself some fancy new race stuff. Also, big thank you to TrackDogsRacing.com. Be sure to head on over there for some HCK merchandise, your premier merchandising supplier of HCK Beagles Racing League, as well as AAA Broadcasting. Also, big thank you to Chiefland RC Raceway down there in Florida. Be sure to go check them out if you like running those little RC cars, man. Those are super fun to drive. Absolutely having a heck of a time down there. So please be sure to go and participate in some of their events going on down there. Big thank you again to Sonic Graphic Design, your action replay sponsor. Big time views here tonight, especially kind of towards the later stages. But thank you guys for jumping on board here this season. And of course, big thank you to AdminBoxx as well, the premier button box solution for race control admins. Looking on ahead for the rest of the week, just one more broadcast to do tomorrow night, and that is going to be the Vigilante Racing League over there at Dover, the Monster Mile. Man, it's going to be a big monster mash, I can tell you that one. And so those guys are just about halfway or they're a little bit past halfway through their season, I should say. So you don't want to miss that great race coming up to you. But until tomorrow night, man, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.